All right, let's talk about something we all think we get: hope. But what if I told you we've been looking at it all wrong? We're going to reframe this whole thing. Forget about hope as some passive wish. Think of it as a powerful tool, something you can actually create and use. Yeah, forget all that wishing on a star stuff. The way to think about hope is it's like an active ingredient. It's rocket fuel. It's that high octane booster you pour into your car's gas tank to clean out all the junk. It just gets rid of the gunk of pessimism and helps your mental engine run hotter, cleaner, and way more efficiently. Okay, so if hope is fuel, where do we get it? Does it just show up? Nope, it's not random at all. Hope is actually generated by new information. It's that aha moment, the one where a path forward that was totally hidden a second ago suddenly just clicks into place. And that really gets to the core of what we're talking about. See, hope isn't just about wanting something good to happen. It's that moment you realize a good outcome is actually possible because you can finally see the steps to get there. I mean, the path could have been there the whole time, right? But hope is when you finally see it. Now, this all sounds great in theory, but what happens when the tank is just empty, when you're feeling totally hopeless? Well, here's the key. You don't just sit around and wait for hope to magically show up. You have to generate it. And the spark you need to ignite that fuel, it's action. And this is where things get really interesting, because there's a direct, maybe even surprising link here. That feeling of being stuck, of being bored or hopeless, it's often just a lack of focus. Your brain is just kind of idling, and when it's idling, the engine of hope can't even turn over. So this gives us a really simple 4-step process to actually generate hope. First, you gotta recognize that feeling of being stuck for what it is, a lack of focus. So what's the antidote? Just take a simple action, any simple action, because that action forces your brain to engage. And right there, in that new state of focus, that's where new ideas and, with them, hope start to bubble up. I mean, think about how simple we're talking. Wiping down a kitchen counter. It seems totally mindless, right? But your brain has to engage, even a little. Is this sponge clean? Did I just touch raw chicken? This tiny physical act literally forces your brain out of that passive, idling state and wakes it up. Movement is the spark. It's that simple. Okay, let's get into a really powerful, super practical example of how you can manufacture your own hope, basically on demand. It all starts with a tiny $1 investment, but the payoff is something you would probably never expect. $1. Seriously, that's it. That is the entire cost of this little exercise. But the real question is, what are you actually buying for that dollar? What you're buying is a lottery ticket. Now, look, we all know the odds of winning are basically zero, but that's not the point. You're not really buying a chance to win millions of dollars. You're buying the real prize, a week of possibility. For just $1, you've bought yourself a license to dream for a whole week. Because the real gold here isn't the piece of paper. It's the mental space it opens up. It gives you permission to think about a totally different future, to imagine solutions to whatever problems you've got, and to feel that sense of relief that comes with those possibilities, even if it's just a fantasy for a little while. So why does this work so well? It's because the chance, no matter how tiny, is real. It's not a complete fantasy. And that little tiny sliver of possibility is just enough to break a crack and a pessimistic pattern. It introduces a powerful competing thought that can interrupt that negative loop that might be playing over and over in your head. So, okay, we figured out we can actually generate hope. But what does it really do for us once we have it? I mean, how does it actually change the way we think? Well, for one, our brains are kind of wired for negativity, right? It's so easy to focus on what could go wrong. Hope is the counterbalance to that. It doesn't mean you ignore the bad stuff, but it allows you to see the positive potential through all that fire. And importantly, to give it equal weight. Just look at this contrast right here. The thought, nobody loves me, that feels like a dead end, a solid fact. It's a wall. But hope introduces a competing thought, an actionable idea. I can change things to find connection. See the difference? It completely shifts your focus away from the static problem and onto potential solutions. Like, hey, I could go out, I could meet new people, I could work on myself. And that's really what it comes down to. Hope gives you back your sense of agency.
It's this powerful reminder that your circumstances are not set in stone and that what you do actually matters. It tells you that you have options, and just realizing that, well, that can change absolutely everything.
So let's bring this all home. That lottery ticket, it was just a catalyst. Think about it. Even after the winning numbers were drawn and your ticket was technically worthless, you were still running on that fuel of hope right up until the moment you checked the numbers. The power source was never the ticket. It was always you. So the big question is, how do we keep the tank full? Well, it really boils down to two things: getting new information and taking new actions. You gotta always be learning because new knowledge opens up new paths you never saw before. And you gotta always be acting. Put your hat in the ring, connect with people, get out there, take a chance. Every single one of those is an act of generating your own hope. And this is the ultimate takeaway here. Hope isn't some feeling you just have to wait for. It's a tool. It's a lever that you can use to pry your mind out of those negative, gutter-level thought loops again and again. And the best part? It's a totally renewable resource. You can make more of it anytime you need it. So as we wrap this up, the real question isn't, do you have hope? It's, how are you choosing to create it? What's the small action? What's the $1 investment you can make today to fuel your own engine? What is your renewable source of hope?